What's going on, guys? It's VR Gamer, and today I'm going to teach you how to make a Gorilla Tag Band game in 2025. Now, I made a tutorial on this a little bit ago, but that's an outdated tutorial. So, what you're going to want to do is go to the link in the description and get Unity Hub, which is what I'm using. Install that, and what you're going to want to do, once you get in, log in with an account on Unity, or create one if you don't have one already. And once you create one, you should be in here. It might give you a setup tutorial. Just go to settings, then just go to appearance, turn on hide get setup page, and then so you can do this stuff if you want. Make the project location on where you want them created. I have one in my local disk. I just have a Unity projects folder right there. So when you boot up Unity Hub, it might pull up a little pop-up that says download Unity 6.2. Just don't click it. Do not install Unity 6.2. And then once you get in here, you can either click here or at the top right, and it'll pop up install editor. Now I'm going to do Unity 6.0. This might vary what version it is for you when you're watching this. For me, it's going to be Unity 6.0.62 F1. So I'm just going to do that. So download the latest Unity 6 version. Or you're going to also want to do, anytime there's a Unity 6 update, just update it, uninstall the old Unity 6, install the new one. So you're going to want to make sure that these are checked on, all of these. You'll probably have to do this first time. You need to install Visual Studio Community 2022. I'll show you what that looks like. So it'll probably look like this. Once it boots it up, it'll have available, or maybe it'll tell you to install it or whatever. Just go ahead. I'm going to update it right now. So that way. So I'm updating it right now. Just install Visual Studio Community 2022 from the Visual Studio installer. So make sure platforms, Android build support, OpenJDK, and OpenSDK, and NDK tools are on. So once you do that, just click continue, and then you can read these terms if you want. It's just terms of use for Android stuff. Just click I read and agreed with above the terms. Here you go. As you can see, Visual Studio is finished. In progress, and then it'll download these, depending on how fast your computer is. But I'll see you guys once you're done. So once Visual Studio pops up to install, you're actually going to want to, it'll probably pop this up. So if it pops this up, here's the recommended things I recommend installing. So you're going to want to do gaming, game development with Unity, and game development with C++. And here's a little note, by the way. Once the editor application is done installing, everything else should go pretty fast, because the editor application is actually the biggest thing that installs. So as you can see right here, my editor application just recently got finished, and all of these are going pretty quick. So, alright, so as you can see, install complete. So, what you're going to want to do, once it completes installing, you're going to want to go to projects, and you're going to want to click new project. Now, scroll down, go to 3D built-in render pipeline, and just download that. Get 3D built-in render pipeline. Create a Unity organization if you want. I don't know if you need to. You might need to, I don't know. Name the project whatever you want. I'm just going to name it tutorial, and it should it should look like something like this. Now, yes, Visual Studio is still installing in the background. So it should do something like this. The first time loading up, it's hard to say if it'll go fast or slow. Allow adb.exe if it asks you. But go up to this arrow, and you can right click on Unity Hub and click create quick Unity Hub, and that reduces the RAM usage. So after you load in, you'll see there's this stuff. There's Unity version control, unless you're wanting to collaborate. It just says, so unless you're wanting to collaborate, just click remove. And it says it costs money to collaborate, so I just would remove it. It's just a waste of storage and just annoying. So just remove version control unless you're really willing to pay for it. And once it does that, go to Visual Scripting, update it to the latest version. And to check for updates, I would recommend going to the Updates tab. Now, you might not, with your electronic devices or whatever, you might not really update your things, but in making games, updating your things is pretty crucial, so please make sure you check for updates every time you open your project, because updates in making games are pretty crucial. So now, all that's updated. You can go to scene. I don't know if all of these will be up here for you. They probably won't be, because I put these here myself in previous games. So what you're going to want to do, if it doesn't open up Package Manager for you and you're wondering, oh no, how do I get there? Just go to Window, and then you're going to want to go to Package Manager, and it'll open up like that. And so go to File, and then Build Profiles, and it'll open up something like this. And you're going to want to go over here to Android, and then click Open Scene List, add Open Scenes, and then go back to Android. Go Texture Compression. You can either do ETC2 or ASTC. ASTC is a little less laggy. It kind of looks better too, in my opinion. So just do ASTC. And then Run Device, set it to all compatible devices. Make sure the compression method is LZ4. And then go to your project settings. If it doesn't open, I think you just go to Edit, Project Settings, and it'll open up a window like this. First, go to Timeline. Set the default frame rate to 90. So that way your game will default to 90 FPS, so that way there's no lag. And go to Player on here. So once you're at Player, and you can create any company name you want. My company name is VR Gamer 262 Studios. Yes, I know, very original. So go to Other Settings right here. So, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to the Auto Graphics API, turn off that, and then click on OpenGLES 3, and you're going to want to click that minus sign, so only Vulkan shows up. So actually do not use ETC2 or whatever it was called, because that's what 2 runs on, and if you remove OpenGLES 3, that reduces lag, makes your game less storage space, and overall makes it better. Vulkan looks better anyway. So you can go like this. Texture compression formats, only keep it on ASTC. Then what you're going to want to do, GPU skinning. If you have a good GPU, do GPU. If you don't have a great GPU, do CPU. Batched is fine. I'm not really sure what batched does, but I don't know. So, and then normal map encoding, change it from whatever this is to XYZ. By the way, these are all the Gorilla Tag settings. You can change them whenever you want. So change the normal map encoding to XYZ. HDR cube map encoding, set that to normal quality. Scroll down. You don't have to do this, but you can click it. You can click Allow HDR Display Output. It's just high dynamic range. You don't have to do it. It might lag, so I'm not going to do it, but you can if you want to. And this might pop up. Just turn off this check mark. So now comes this part. This part's kind of weird. So every time you update your game, you need to change this and this. So say you updated it from the first version, you want to work on it again, you add some stuff, and then after you add some stuff, you want to update the game again. You'll have to go like this. You'll do 0.2 or 0.11.1 or so. You'll have to do that, and then you'll always change this number one number. So say it was on 1, you're going to change it to 2. Say it was on 2, change it to 3. You'll always change those. If you don't, when you install your game, it'll say the package conflicts with an existing package, and it won't let you install the game. Minimum API level, you're going to want to set it to Android 12L right here. And target API level, set it to Android 14. Those are 12L is the previous version for the VRs, and 14 is the current version. Some people turned off system updates for their VR, so just set that to 12L so that way they can play your game. So scripting backend, if this is on mono, change it to IL2CPP. That will reduce the lag, make your game run better, and then you can do framework. I'm going to do framework, .NET framework. And then you're going to want to turn not allowed to always allowed. Make sure this is set to new. Make sure this is set to ARM64. Check on ARM64. And ARM v9 security features for ARM64. Turn that on. Quote unquote unsafe code. Sometimes Unity thinks it's quote unquote unsafe, so it'll lock it or it'll make your game freak out and not work. So once you do that, do pre-baked collision meshes right here. Manage stripping level, make sure minimal. So we're done with all that stuff. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go here. We're gonna go to Package Manager actually. We're gonna go to Unity Registry. Scroll down or actually just go here, VR. See the packages included, XR Interaction Toolkit, Oculus XR plugin, and OpenXR plugin. Click install on the VR package. So it might take a second to install the VR package because it's 3 packages at once. So it'll do this, something like hold on, and then it'll compile the scripts. And it might take a second. So once that's done, scroll down, make sure XR plugin management is installed, and go to XR Interaction Toolkit, and then go to XR plugin management. Go to change the computer icon to OpenXR. Now it'll probably like yap for a second. And then it'll probably say at the bottom right it's going to compile scripts because it has to change everything. So it'll do something like this. It'll do pop up this window. Now this is going to be your worst nightmare. This little window right here. Oh no, it has some stupid settings. You're going to want to go ahead, click fix all right here. Let it be stupid again. So now that that's good, you're going to click edit right here. And it'll pop this up. It'll do this really not good quality box. You're going to go to enable interaction profiles. Real quick actually, you're going to click single pass and instanced, and you're going to change it to multi-pass. Enabled interaction profiles, click this plus. Click Oculus Touch Controller Profile. Click MetaQuest Touch Pro Controller Profile. Click MetaQuest Touch Plus and Valve Index. And then you're going to swap over to the Android icon. You're going to change it from single pass instance / multi-view. You're going to change that to multi-pass. You're going to click that plus, Oculus Touch, MetaQuest Touch Pro, MetaQuest Touch Plus. So, now that you did that, you're going to want to go to this XR plugin management again. Go to the Android, and you're going to want to go over here to Oculus. Click on Oculus, and then go over to Oculus right here. And you're going to want to go to the computer thing. And you're going to go to single pass instance, multi-view to multi-pass, low overhead mode. Yes, turn that on. And look down and you see this thing right here, target devices. Now this is extremely important. Please be paying attention to this one. It's not that hard to pay attention to, and you need to follow it. So, turn all of these checkboxes on. Here's the reason. If you accidentally forget to oh no, I accidentally forgot to do Quest 3S and I have a Quest 3S, your game's gonna be broken. Your game is not gonna run well for the Quest 3S. It will practically not support it. So make sure you have all of these checked on, including Quest Pro. I know you're probably like, Quest Pro, bro? Are you kidding me? No one plays on that anymore. Turn it on. I don't care. Someone might. Don't hurt their feelings. So you're pretty much done with that. So what you're going to want to do, Package Manager, and for XR Interaction Toolkit, actually, you know what, you should do this. So what you're going to actually want to do with XR Interaction Toolkit, it'll show that it's on this version. Now that's an old version. You're going to want to actually go to version history and update it. So it'll pop up this. There'll be like show other versions. You want to click on 3.3.0. So once you've updated it like that, you're going to have to go back to samples and update the starter assets. So if you updated XR Interaction Toolkit, just update the starter assets. So now we're over here. It will take a second to compile the scripts. And you're going to want to go into the starter assets folder. If it didn't open it for you, go to samples, XR Interaction Toolkit, 3.4.0 or whatever version you're on, starter assets, and once you're in here, you're going to want to go to presets, And then you're going to click on each of these, and at the top right there will be an add to button. You're just going to want to click add to on all of these. So once all of those are clicked, you're going to want to go to your project settings, and you're going to want to go to preset manager right here, and on controller input action manager, call this one right, call this one left. Oh, I wasn't typing. So just call it left and right. You don't have to do this, but I'm also going to do right and left on the grab move provider. So once that's done, pretty much done with this stuff, so now you have to import the Gorilla rig. So I'll show you how you can do that. So what you're going to want to do is go to the link in the description. It should be the second link in the description probably. What you're going to want to do, it'll be the official Gorilla Tag Locomotion system. You're going to want to go over to the Gorilla Locomotion.unity package, click on it, and right here, click download raw file. And then save it wherever you want to, and it'll download like that. So once you're done with that, go back into your project, right click on the assets folder, so just click on assets, right click, or double click if you're on a trackpad, click import package, custom package, and then you're going to put in Gorilla Locomotion. So once you do that, it might ask you to click all, or you might be able to click all on here. Just click all and then import. Just warning you, by the way, once you import the Gorilla rig, first it'll ask you to do this, click yes for these and other files that might be found later, but it will ask you to reload the scene. If you ignore this, your movement will be broken, your camera will be all wonky, and you just need to click reload. So click reload. I'm going to get into how to make online servers in a second, but first let's showcase on how to build a map. So what you're going to want to do is go to package manager. This is my recommended method by just going to window, package manager. Once you go into package manager, you're going to want to go over here to 3D world building. That will include a bunch of this stuff. Just click install on the 3D world building. The main thing that we're going to be using in here is Pro Builder. Pro Builder is pretty much just like a builder for pros. So once that imports, you'll see that you will have Pro Builder. You can scroll down a bit, or you can go to in project, and then you can look for Pro Builder. So you'll see my version that I'm using is 6.0.7. So once you have Pro Builder installed, you're going to want to go over to Tools up here, Pro Builder. You're going to want to go, you're going to go to Editors right here, click, and then you hover over Create Shape. I recommend for the shape you just do a cube for now, and then you're going to drag it on how big you want it. Just warning you that in Unity, things look a lot smaller than they actually are in VR mode. So you're just going to hold down until you find the object area you want it to be, and then you'll let go and it'll show this. You can move this up and down however tall or wide you want it. So I'm just going to do that. So as you can see, we have a cube right here, a Unity cube. Now I'll teach you how to add materials real quick. Go ahead, right click on your assets, create folder, call it material, and spell it exactly like this, because sometimes Unity will create a material folder spelled like this exactly, and it kind of gets annoying. So just spell it like that, no S at the end. So now go into your material folder, right click again, go to create material, and name this whatever color you're going to use, or whatever you want. So I'm going to make a green for terrain, green. So I'm going to name it that. Then what you're going to want to do is go over to this little area right here. It should be white when you start. You're going to want to go, and for green, I'm just going to drag down the red, and I'm going to drag down the B. So as you can see, we have this, but that's not it. Go ahead, go to smoothness, and turn it all the way down. And if you have a good GPU, turn on enable GPU instancing, and then turn off specular highlights and reflections. So as you can see, I put down the texture on it, and it looks pretty good. So what you can do to edit the cube you made, click this little thing right here, and select, this will do this. You can click on a corner, hold down shift, and move this wherever you want. It'll make it so you can do that. So just hold down shift to do that. to extrude the edges. I guess for cubes it's not that bad, but so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually go over here. I'm gonna go to Tools, Pro Builder, Object, and I'm gonna go ahead and flip the object normals. So now as you can see, there's an inside to this, and if you want there to be a roof or anything, you just go like this, click on the little pencil, like this face option right here, click on the face you want, and then just click the backspace button. And you should have a roof on it. So now I'm gonna adjust this a little bit, so I'll get back to you when I'm done. So pretty much as you can see, I just made this little simple map. It's like a little maze, except not really. And then there's a little hole to get out from. So it's just a pretty simple map that you can make. By the way, your textures will not look like this. I turned off receive shadows and everything on this, so that way you can see everything better. So now you have your simple maps. So now it's actually time to add the player. So you're going to want to go in your assets, go to resources, Gorilla Prefabs, and drag out the Gorilla rig. So now go up to the Gorilla rig, right click, prefab, and unpack completely. Now move this wherever you want. Do not make it bigger. That messes with the entire thing. So do not make it bigger. But as you can see, this is how big the player will actually be, and you can see my map is very, very huge for this little tiny gorilla player. As you can see, the camera will be about here, and it's going to be massive. So that's what I was talking about. You can size it down a bit to the player's scale. So I'm just going to size it down a bit. So as you can see, that's a lot better. Now what you're going to want to do, drag this to the very top. Do not drag it inside of the directional light or in sample scene, just drag it at the very top. Then Control S to save, and if you make a mistake, Control Z, and if you want to redo whatever you did, Control Y. So what you're going to want to do now, in your Gorilla rig, make sure you have it selected. You'll see XR rig script deprecated, and it says XR rig has been deprecated. Use the XR origin component instead. Listen to that, go ahead, click these three dots right here, and click remove component. So now what you're going to want to do is look up XR origin, click that, and set the camera floor offset. You're going to set that to the Gorilla player. Camera, set it to main camera. Tracking origin mode, set it to device, and camera Y offset 0. Locomotion enabled, you'll have to change this if you add different layers, which I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. Go to the tag and set the Gorilla tag to player. So now what you're going to do is make sure that this is set to main camera. Yes, it is. And left hand and right hand need to have a sphere collider. So you can go over to the left hand, hold down Control on your keyboard, and click on right hand. Click Add Component, and add a sphere collider. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click Is Trigger, and is the radius 0.06. Now this will edit for both of these since you have both of them selected. So now that you did that, you're going to go to tag right here, click add tag. You're going to want to call it hand tag. Spell exactly like this. Most scripts use hand tag, and if it's not spelled like that, then it will mess with the scripts and some of them won't work. So once you did that, select both of them again, click tag, hand tag, and then select left hand and Control S every single time. Now go to add layer. We're going to call it left hand, spelled exactly like that. And then add another layer called right hand, like that. So now click the left hand, set the layer to left hand, click the right hand, and set the layer to right hand. There you go. So now you got the locomotion system. So real quick, I'm going to pull up the game. I'm going to play it on VR, and then you can see what I'm actually seeing. Okay, so as you can see, I'm in my game right now. It's working pretty good. I need the system working, so that's pretty much it. So now that everything's set up and we got everything working, I can real quick tell you how to play your game on Unity. So what you gotta do is you have to have a good PC, a good GPU, and you can just test that. I don't really want to put up the minimum requirements. You can just try it yourself. You'll go to Steam and download Steam VR, and you'll open up Steam VR, download Steam Link on your VR, and then just connect, and you can go ahead and click the play button while you're connected, and it'll let you in if you've followed everything I told you to set up. So we got proof that that's working, so that's good. So now what we got to do is add the online servers. So let's go ahead and get to that. In your assets, go to resources, Gorilla prefabs, and drag out the Gorilla rig. So now go up to the Gorilla rig, right click, prefab, and unpack completely. Now move this wherever you want. Do not make it bigger. That messes with the entire thing. So do not make it bigger. Alright, so go to the next link in the description. It should be called Photon Pun 2. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click Add to My Assets. It might make you sign in, so I'm going to have to sign in real quick, blur all of that out. So for you, it'll say Add to My Assets. For me, since I already have it, I'm going to go ahead and click Open in Unity, and click Always Allow, and then Open in Unity Editor. So for me right now, there is a new update for Photon Pun 2, which is probably a good thing because Photon has been a little buggy recently. So you're just going to want to download Photon Pun 2 and then click Import to Project. So the version might be higher for you than what it is for me by the time you're watching this video. Just click whatever it asks. And then if it asks you or it lets you, just click All and then click Import. Now it'll import the package, and while it imports, you're going to want to go to the next link in the description. So go into the next link in the description. It should be called Photon Voice 2, and it will be Photon Voice 2. So just click Add to My Assets and then click Open in Unity. And if this pops up, click Yes for these files and other files that might be found later. If it asks you that and it didn't open in Unity, then you'll just go back and click Open in Unity again once it's done compiling the scripts. So it's done compiling and stuff, so click Open in Unity. This might pop up, just add it over in this corner for now, if it'll let you. So now you should be on Photon Voice. You're going to click download, and then you're going to import it to the project. Click All and then Import. Anyways, click Yes for these files and others that might be found later. So, yeah. So as you can see, it's going to take a little bit longer. So while you're waiting for this to finish compiling, let's head to the next link in the description. So as you can see, here is the Photon VR release. It'll only show this right here. So you're going to get Photon VR pre-release 0.0.5. You're going to download that and then save it right there. So once it's saved, go ahead, head to Unity. And if it's still compiling the scripts from the Photon Voice, that's fine, just wait for it. Then you're going to want to go to Scene, and then go to Assets, and then right-click, Import Package, Custom Package, and import the Photon VR. And then if you can click All, just click All, and then click Import. And then click Yes for these and other files that might be found later. All this compiles, let's get to the next link in the description. Oh, actually, it's done. Alright, so go ahead, head to the final link in the description. This is the Photon VR website. So you're going to want to click Sign Up if you don't have an account already. But once you click Sign Up, it might send you to the dashboard already, but if it doesn't, then go over here and click Dashboard. So it should load up to this. And so these are my games this is the game I haven't launched yet that actually I'm not going to launch, so I'm just going to delete that. So it'll say, welcome, you don't have any apps yet, want to create one? Click Create New App, and then make sure it's checked on Multiplayer Game. Select Photon SDK, set it to Pun, and then you're going to go to Application, name it whatever your Unity project name is, so I'm going to call it Tutorial. You don't have to add this, you can if you want to. This isn't required either. You can just add your itch.io link, and then click Create New App. And then go over to Fusion, select Voice, and then name it the same thing you named it previously. Click Create. So you're going to want to copy this app ID by clicking on it. Now don't show this to anybody but yourself, and if people are working with you, you can show that to them. So I'm going to blur it out. So back to the Unity, then you're going to go to Resources, Photon VR, and then go to Prefabs. Then drag all of these out, And then go to prefab, unpack completely, and prefab, unpack completely. Now go to your Photon VR manager and paste in your app ID, and real quick change this region to wherever you are. I'm going to do US. Set the default room limit to whatever you want. I'd recommend doing 10. Just don't go above 20 people. Keep the default queue, and until you add a code computer, do not turn this join room on connect off. So then go back, add the voice, so copy and paste that, and now it should be set up. Sometimes you'll go to Pun Wizard real quick, and then paste your Pun app ID into the Pun setup, click setup project, and click close, and then open server cloud settings. Sometimes this is weird and likes to be mean to you, so you just go copy your voice ID again, and then put it into app ID voice. So everything should be good. Just set the fixed region to server US. Actually, I'll just keep that blank, and then dev region S. So now you have Photon set up, and you'll know it's working if you go ahead and click play. And once you click play, it should load it in a placeholder player model. Oh, and if this asks you to do it, just click import TMP essentials. If it doesn't let you go out of play mode, click import TMP essentials again, and then click import TMP examples and extras. So now that that's imported, you can Control S and then re-go into here. And by the way, if you're concerned about the console, it's giving you errors. Oh no, it's fine. This is normal. Just click clear and then just click play. So if you click scene, and as you can see, the placeholder player model has been in, which means the servers work. So you can move the hands, it'll move with you. And so if you're wondering, how do I remove these weird snowballs in the middle of the hands? I'll go over to the spheres, these two spheres, select them both, and turn off the mesh renderer. It's that easy. So that's it for the online servers. So you're pretty much done with the basics of how to set up a Gorilla Tag fan game. So you can play around, add some more stuff. Let me know in the comments if you want a tutorial on how to add a banding system called PlayFab, or you want me to teach you how to make a player model, or just let me know in the comments section below, and I'll probably get to that. So you can look over the stuff. You can go to the Photon VR player and you can see the name, everything. So just let me know if you want me to create a tutorial for anything, and I got you. I'll do that. So, and I remembered one more thing after recording. Real quick, go over to resources, Photon VR, go to assets, and delete these two icons right here, because when you're going into build, it'll say they bring errors. And I also forgot to tell you how to publish your game. So first, what you're actually going to want to do, go to project settings, go to player, and for the first version of the game, you can have these on the first, 0.1 and 1. That I already told you this near the start of the video. So make sure all this stuff is set up. Go to build profiles, switch platform if you haven't. Alright, so now that you did that, it'll say that it's switched the platforms. So give it a sec, and then turn off development build, and then click build. Name the APK whatever you want. Go to wherever you want to build it, and then save. It'll take a second to build, but once it's done, you can go ahead, it'll open your file explorer, and then you can publish it to something like itch.io or something like that. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Make sure you like and subscribe.